The following high-definition presentation of Beacon Sports is brought to you by Beacon Academy, an elite group of students destined to bring you the future of better broadcasting.
National Pro Fast Pitch Softball action live on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com for the 2015 season is brought to you in part by Boomba, the official supplier for National Pro Fast Pitch Authentic Team uniforms, training apparel, and replica sportswear. By Worth Fast Pitch, the official helmet of the NPF. By DeMarini Sports, makers of the world's finest bats. Check them out on Instagram at DeMariniFP. By Wilson Sporting Goods, official supplier of bats and gloves for the NPF. Create your custom Wilson A2000 at WilsonCustomGloves.com. By Combat Sports, your advantage is in our DNA. Experience Maxim, a 40% larger hitting surface than the closest competitor. By Miken, we are built to win. We don't play the game to win, we dominate it at MikenSports.com. By Mizuno, never settle is an attitude, like Mizuno Fast Pitch North America on Facebook for athlete news, product reviews, and giveaways. By Louisville Slugger, you too can swing the technology that's dominating the game at every level of play at Slugger.com. By Easton, swing for the fences in patented designs and discover how their fast pitch bat can take your game to the next level at EastonSoftball.com. By Evo Shield, the official protective gear of the NPF. Lightweight gear, custom fit, available for athletes of all ages at sporting good retailers nationwide. By Bonet, play anywhere, play now. Check out the best portable sports nets and gear in the game at BonetSports.com. By Diamond Sports, the official softball of the NPF. Progressive design plus advanced technology equals unparalleled performance. And by Nike, an official supplier of the NPF. Wants you to follow them at Nike Store for Nike products in the U.S. Serving athletes since 1972, Nike knows at NikeStore.com.
Welcome back here to the pregame show on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Mike Knezovich along with Eric Katz as we get set for the second game of this three-game set here between the Chicago Bandits and the Akron Racers as we wind down the regular season here in the 2015 campaign. And Eric, just an exciting game yesterday, a walk-off double from Tatum Edwards to win the ball game 4-3, and also piggybacking on a no-hitter by Monica Abbott. And the first game against the Pennsylvania Rebellion certainly was a welcome sight to see fans back in the stands as well as excitement after the storm went through here on Sunday.
The Bandits and ultimately the community of Rosemont really needed those wins after the events that happened the day before. It was a great game played by the Bandits. They did a terrific job on offense, punching in on those opportunities and also keeping Lacy Waldrup confident and also having Monica Abbott just throw a no-hitter. That was a welcome sight for the community. It really was inspiring to see.
The Racers had Lisa Norris going, and unfortunately for the visitors, the defense kind of let them down a little bit. Some plays in the infield that could have been made that could have helped them out, and I'm sure that's something that Coach Levin has emphasized now in the last two games of the series, some improved defensive play behind the circle.
I spoke to Coach Levin before the game, and he told me that they didn't capitalize on making outs. They didn't capitalize on those opportunities, which is why the game got away from them. He actually thought that the game got away from them back in the second inning.
Meanwhile, Emily Allard back into the lineup, and her presence in center field certainly been felt defensively. Also picked up a couple base hits, and Coach Stewart has got an interesting decision to make come in the post-game report as far as where he's going to bat Brittany Cervantes in the lineup, because as a leadoff hitter, she certainly has shined.
You pretty much can put Brittany Cervantes anywhere in the lineup, and she will produce. She's that type of player. She's very versatile. Batting leadoff is nothing new to her since she did it in her senior season at the University of Kentucky. But all in all, I'm going to expect probably Brittany Cervantes to be somewhere in that lineup because her bat is valuable.
Meanwhile, Jill Barrett is just having a terrific second season in the NPF for Coach Levin. She hit .315 her rookie season. She's third in the league this year at .346. Her, along with Narissa Myers, is a nice 1-2 punch in the top part of that Racer lineup.
that 1-2 punch is really something to see. Jill Barrett brings the speed and also the bat that the Racers need, despite them being completely power-laden. That Barrett also offers a nice balance, and she's terrific to have on base. That's something the Bandits are going to have to keep mindful of, is they have to keep her off base.
Let's take a look now at the pitching matchup as we give you a wrap-up here. Going to be an interesting matchup. Two pitchers that are trying to get back to their form from 2014. Sarah Moulton came on to the NPF with a storm. She was 6-0, finished 7-1 her rookie season. She struggled a little bit this season. Meanwhile, Rachel Fico was an all-NPF selection back in 2014. Both pitchers' ERAs in the upper fives. So both of these pitchers trying to get back to their form that they had last year prior to the playoffs in 2015.
Well, what really hurt Rachel Fico coming in was she came in late because of her other job and also personal reasons. She really needs to get back into form here. This is actually her second start this year. She's been removed primarily as a reliever, and it's her first start in 2 weeks, and she's going to have to really bear down and get the rust off quickly because she's facing a very powerful Bandits lineup that can really put runners on base.
Well, the second game of this three-game set is the stage has been set here at the ballpark at Rosemont. As we wind down the 2015 season, both of these ball clubs are on a collision course headed towards Hoover, Alabama for the NPF Championship Series coming up on August 14th through the 18th. We'll continue with pregame coverage after this brief timeout. You're watching the Chicago Bandits and Akron Racers here in exciting NPF action live from the ballpark at Rosemont on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
Welcome back to the Chicago Bandits pregame coverage on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. I'm Eric Katz, and I'm joined by pitcher Tatum Edwards. Tatum, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Quite well. So, you came from the University of Nebraska. What can you tell us about the Cornhuskers softball program?
They're great. They're ran by some awesome coaches. They really look for kids who are good people. They really understand how to take care of you, and they make us work hard all the time. So.
All right. And you were also a hitter in college. How important is it for someone who is a pitcher to also be a good hitter too?
I think it's just important because it's another person in the lineup that you don't have to take out. If the pitcher can contribute to their own game when they're pitching, I think it's really important. So have a pitcher who can also hit that shows the athleticism in the pitcher.
Now, you've played with your sister Taylor your entire career practically, and how much easier is it throwing to her compared to any other catcher?
Well, we're twins, so we kind of have that twin telepathy thing kind of going, and I trust her with everything, and so I know that when I go out there, sometimes I don't even have to look at the signs she wants to give me, and we just know what we want to do, and we're always going to be on the same page, so I think that's why I would trust her out of everybody.
Now, you were signed as a free agent. Your sister was drafted by the Pennsylvania Rebellion. What was the reaction when you both were signed by the Rebellion, and also later this offseason when you were traded together in the same deal?
I really thought my career was going to be over after I didn't get drafted, and once I got the call from the Rebellion, I was very excited to know that our career was going to continue together. And then when we got the word we were getting traded, we were still so excited because we were going to have the opportunity to continue playing our career together. So the Bandits have been awesome since we've gotten here, and we just love everybody, and I know everybody works really hard to make this program work and to continue the NPF, so everyone's been really awesome.
What is your favorite part about being a Bandit?
My favorite part? I would have to say just knowing how much community we have around the Bandits. There's so many people who want to be involved in our team and who want to give to our team. So I think just being able to be a part of that, knowing that I'm making a difference in young kids' lives and also in the community around the Bandits, I think that's the most important thing.
Now, I'm going to ask you to rat out one of your teammates. Who is the strangest teammate on the team?
Strangest? Oh, no. Probably Sarah Moulton. She's kind of strange.
How so?
She's just funny. She has no filter. She just kind of says how it is, and she just has hilarious things to say too. But she can be kind of weird with her quirky self, but she's just funny.
Never a dull moment. I was joined by Tatum Edwards here on the Chicago Bandits pregame show. We'll be right back with more coverage of the Chicago Bandits as they take on the Akron Racers. I'm Eric Katz, and we'll be right back.
Training apparel and replica sportswear. First of all, for the visiting Akron Racers, they are coached by Brian Levin. They will have at shortstop leading it off Jill Barrett. She'll be followed by Narissa Myers, a designated player. Shelly Robinson will be in left field. Haley Uten will be catching and hitting in the cleanup spot. Kelly Montalvo will be at third base, followed by Taylor Schlope in the sixth spot in center field. Brianna Hamilton will be at first base with Ashley Thomas at second. Ayumi Kalina will be in right, and Rachel Fico will be in the circle and also in the flex position for the Akron Racers. Let's set our Wilson Sporting Goods defensive alignment for the Chicago Bandits. They will have in left field tonight Brenna Moss, Emily Allard will be in center. Double deuce, Brittany Cervantes will be in right. Infield from third to first will have Amber Patton, Tammy Williams, Danielle Zimkowitz, and Megan Blank, with the battery of Taylor Edwards and Sarah Moulton. Wilson Sporting Goods, makers of custom gloves. You can create your custom Wilson A2000 at wilsoncustomgloves.com. Use what the pros use and match your team colors or design a glove that represents your style today. Is Tammy with the play across the infield to start the things off positively here for the Bandits defense here in the first.
That was a great play by Tammy Williams. She hustled all the way over from shortstop across the diamond. There was no way Danielle Zimkowitz would have been able to get the speedy Jill Barrett, but Tammy Williams, with her speed in her arm, was able to get her out by a step at first base.
So Narissa Myers, now the designated player, will stand in for the Racers. Barrett had come in as the third leading hitter in the league prior to that at bat. Myers, who coming off a monster season in 2014, following up with a solid campaign this year at 289, 6 home runs and 19 runs driven in with the slightly open stance from the left-hand side. Sarah Moulton coming in with some inflated numbers on the ERA, 3-1 with a 4.69. This is her 8th start of the season. She's got 20 strikeouts so far and 28 and a third innings of work, and she's given up 16 walks as well during that stint.
The key for Sarah Moulton tonight is to keep runners off base. That's where she's really run into trouble. She also needs to get ahead of the hitter, which she's not doing against Narissa Myers in this at-bat.
Megan Blank hugging the first base line, playing to pull Amber Patton in at third base. Nice breaking ball by the former Golden Gopher on the 3-0 count. Coming in at 57, the wind is blowing out towards right center, so it will favor hitters like Narissa Myers tonight. And she certainly has the power to reach the stands from the left-hand side, and she's going for it right now as that ball gets up in the jet stream back to the wall, and Narissa Myers will touch them all. Home run number 7 and RBI number 20 for the former Bandit, as she gets congratulations from Brian Levin coming around the third base bag, and a strong welcoming community from the black and red as the Racers take a 1-0 lead.
That pitch got way too much into the zone. It was a changeup coming right in. Narissa Myers was all over that pitch, and she sent it right over to right field.
Sees Brittany Cervantes going back and finally giving up on it as the ball lands about 4 or 5 rows back into the right field stands. And that wind certainly helped it, and just as we say that, the wind now has died down. So Shelly Robinson will come to the plate, the left fielder, in her rookie season with the Racers.
This is Sarah Moulton's first start in almost 2 weeks.
271 on the average with 3 home runs and 10 RBIs. One of those small school stars at USC Upstate from DeLand, Florida.
I think the trend of mid-major schools appearing in the MPF is going to continue to rise. Doesn't matter where they come from, but as long as they can play.
And the 1-1 pitch by Moulton is laced into the Akron Racers bullpen. We've had 3 folks check in with us so far on YouTube. Terry Quico is subscribed along with Michael Watko and Sarah Opperman joining us here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. You can also reach us during the broadcast tonight by sending us an email at streaming@ChicagoBandits.com. That's streaming at ChicagoBandits.com. Moulton's 1-2 pitch, a little bit off the plate. Yeah, Sarah definitely will depend on pinpoint control with the breaking ball on the outside part of the plate to the right-handed hitters. She also throws a drop ball which comes down and in on the wrist of the right-handed hitters, and also the rise ball which is effective from either side of the plate.
That's something you got to do against this power lane lineup in the Akron Racers. You got to have those off-speed pitches, which always keep power hitters off balance.
Dustin Combs, the assistant coach of the Racers, coaching down at first base. The aforementioned Brian Levin down at third. Here's the 3andTwoSports.com payoff, and it will sail low, so Shelly Robinson draws a base on balls, and now it'll be the cleanup hitter coming up. Double nickels, Haley Uten. Cleanup hitter coming in at .217 on the season. 4 home runs and 12 runs driven in for the former Cougar from the University of Houston. .210 down each line here at the ballpark at Rosemont. .220 to straightaway center field, and the field will certainly be shortened out here tonight, especially with the left-handed hitters with that wind galing out towards right center.
Yesterday, the Akron Racers had opportunities to really capitalize on Lacy Waldrup as they left 9 runners on base. The negative thing about having a power lane lineup is it typically leads to a lot of strikeouts, and the Racers lead the league with 260.
So Uten trying to make contact out there with the slightly open stance from the right-hand side. As there you see the numbers there on the former star down at the University of Houston, with the on-deck hitter Kelly Montalvo for the Racers, the oldest franchise in the NPF, playing in venerable Firestone Stadium. And that one's going to hit double nickels, so Moulton right now in some trouble with 2 runners on here and only 1 out and already 1 in.
This is where Sarah Moulton has really run into trouble in the past by allowing a lot of runners on base, and she's not the type of pitcher like Lisa Norris who can work out of the jam. She typically will get under a lot of pressure here, which can lead to mistakes.
That's only the 3rd batter that Sarah's hit all season long. So good speed aboard now with Robinson on second and Uten on first for the former Crimson Tide, Kelly Montalvo. Montalvo had a terrific game in the opener, 2 for 3 in the contest, including a double. Our good friend Lydia Repchinsky checking in with us. At streaming at ChicagoBandits.com. We miss you, Lydia. Our Orange Crush LLC umpiring crew has Eric Manley calling the balls and strikes behind the plate. Bob Sells is now positioned between first and second with 2 runners on, and Tom Meyer is down at third guarding the left field line. Montalvo a couple years ago amongst the league leaders in walks drawn, and also an all NPF defensive player as well. So let's see if the former Golden Gopher from Minnesota can work out of trouble here, as the count now evens up at 2 apiece. The Bandits come in 2.5 games behind the front-running USSSA Pride, as they are in second place. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games, and they come in with a 2-game winning streak with the sweep yesterday of the Rebellion and the Racers.
What Sarah Moulton needs to do here, Mike, is she needs to pitch to her defense. Pitching to your defense can really save you and get you out of trouble right now, and Sarah Moulton's currently in some right now with runners on first and second.
The USSSA Pride with a 6-2 victory over the Dallas Charge, and a terrific crowd of over 2,200 down in Sugar Land in Texas for the game yesterday. Right now, Sarah's keeping that ball in on the dangerous Montalvo. The Dallas Charge committed 3 errors in that game behind Jolene Henderson along with Lauren Hager. 2,122 fans turn out for the game to see the hometown hero, Cat Osterman, pick up victory number 13 on the season. 2-2 pitch, grounded back to Cerro. She'll get the lead runner at third. Amber will hold on to the ball as Montalvo has too much speed. So nice job by Moulton to get the lead runner, Robinson, at third base.
Great decision by Sarah Moulton to throw over to Amber Patton. She recognized that Haley Uten doesn't have the greatest speed. To check that Shelly Robinson doesn't really have the greatest speed, and she was able to get her out at third base.
So Montalvo reaches first on a fielder's choice, and now Taylor Schlope coming in at 270. Her 8 home runs are now tied with Cervantes for the league lead. Nice breaking ball there from Moulton to lead it off.
Sarah Moulton has to be really careful with Taylor Schlope here. She's tied for first with home runs. If you leave that ball too much in the zone, Taylor Schlope will give it a ride.
Taylor drew the collar yesterday in 4 trips. She struck out. She did reach on a Lacy Waldrup error. Now, Lacy is going to be our in-game guest from Alec Giannakopoulos in the dugout, and Alec is certainly going to touch base with her on overcoming a lot of adversity from her start and complete game yesterday. So 2 runners on here with 2 out as Moulton continues to try to work out of this jam and minimize the damage on the Narissa Myers solo home run with 1 out earlier in the inning.
I read earlier today, Mike, that Lacy Waldrup is actually about to start an internship that's going to last for 10 months with Fox Sports.
Good for her, and that certainly will help her in her career pursuits. And a nice drop ball there by Moulton in on the hands of Schlope to retire the side. But the Racers do not only get a run, but they threaten to add on to it, but Moulton is able to minimize the damage. So in the inning for the Racers, 1 run on 1 hit, the solo home run by Narissa Myers. There were 2 runners left on base. Half inning in the books here at the ballpark at Rosemont. Our first inning throughout the season has been brought to you by Transnational. Transnational is the most trusted name in Bankcard and the sponsor of the 2015 Scholar Athlete of the Year. The Akron Racers have picked up a run in their half of the first. The Bandits coming to bat here on YouTube at ChicagoBandits.com. Play brought to us by Willowbrook Ford. They're located on Kingery Highway in Willowbrook, just 1 mile north of I-55. Drives with the pros drive at Willowbrook Ford. Let's take a look at our Boomba starting lineup tonight for the Chicago Bandits. They'll have Brittany Cervantes leading it off in right field, followed by Amber Patton at the hot corner at third. Taylor Edwards will be catching and hitting third. Kylie Quico will be at the designated player spot. Megan Blank will be at first base. Tammy Williams in the 6th slot at short. Emily Allard will be in center. Danielle Simkowitz at second. Brenna Moss, double nickels, will be in left, rounding out the Bandits starting lineup brought to us by Boomba. Let's take a look at our Wilson Sporting Goods defensive alignment for the Akron Racers as they come in with that record of 19-21. They will have in left field Shelly Robinson. Taylor Schlope, the former Bulldog from Georgia, will be in center. Ayumi Kalino, the Japanese star, will be in right. Kelly Montalvo, Jill Barrett, Ashley Thomas, and Brianna Hamilton will be the infield from third to first, with the battery of the former Tiger from LSU, Rachel Fico, and Haley Uten. So double deuce, Brittany Cervantes will lead it off here for the Bandits. She will be followed by Amber Patton and Taylor Edwards. Cervantes checking in with a terrific on-base percentage this year at .517, coming in at .370 with those league-leading 8 home runs, tied with the aforementioned Taylor Slopey. There you get a good look at Rachel Feakle. The numbers are not where they are usually for the LSU star. 2 and 3 with a 4.72. This is her 6th start of the season. In 26 2/3 innings, she's given up a whopping 35 hits. She has struck out 9, walked 7, and she's given up 7 home run balls this year. And the 2-2 pitch to Double Deuce stays upstairs, so we'll have a 3andTwoSports.com full count offering coming up here from FICO.
Spoke to Amber before the game, and she talked about how her time with Stacey May really helped her pretty much become the player that she is today. Stacey May pretty much took her under her wing and talked about like the different defensive strategies, which have definitely benefited Amber a lot. And she also called her the best hitter that she had ever seen.
We'll see if Natalie Hernandez can pick up some of those tips as well, as Brittany Cervantes continues to get on base time and time again as she leads off this game with a walk for the Chicago Bandits. So Cervantes, who had 2 walks and they scored the game-winning run coming up yesterday, gets another base on balls now in front of Amber Patton. Bouncing ball on the play over to the shortstop, Barrett. She'll get the quick force with Thomas covering. Meanwhile, Patton will reach on the fielder's choice.
That was a great play by Jill Barrett. She really took advantage of the fact that serve doesn't possess a lot of speed, and she was able to get the lead runner out, which is something you always aim to do out in the field.
So now Taylor Edwards, the author of the walk-off double to right center field, will come to the plate. The former Cornhusker from Nebraska with 24 runs batted in on the season to go along with 7 home runs.
Taylor Edwards actually has 3 walk-off RBIs this year.
Of course, had that big home run against the Pride and a thriller in front of a big crowd here at the ballpark at Rosemont. As that ball slapped back to Fico, she'll go to short on the play, and Barrett turns it on the double play. Nicely done there by the former Hurricane from the University of Tulsa as she went right to the second base bag, and it goes 1-6-3 on the twin killing for the Akron Racer defense. So no runs in the inning, as there once again you see Barrett, as she's supposed to do with the right-handed hitter, go across the bag and get away from the oncoming slide of Patton and turn it 4-2 for the Racer defense. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and with the twin killing, nobody left on. We'll head to the top half of the second inning of play. Our tug-of-war in right center field is brought to you by Athletico. Athletico has over 330 locations. They have complimentary screenings, and they're on the web at athletico.com. We'll head to the top half of the second inning of play. It's Akron 1 and Chicago 0 here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. It's brought to us by the Des Plaines Golf Center and Lake Park Course and Marina. Check them out on the Des Plaines Park District website for family outdoor fun. We're heading now to the top half of the second inning of play. The Akron Racers have taken a 1-0 lead over the Chicago Bandits on a solo home run by Narissa Myers. And right now we are joined by John Robleski. John is a master of a lot of different things, especially on his websites, as well as with video and audio, as well as pictures of the sights and sounds of sports all across the area, as Patton gets that laser beam off the bat of Hamilton and goes 5-3 across the diamond for out number 1. And John, welcome to the booth here. I had a chance to sit down and visit with you earlier today and tell the fans a little bit about what Justin's World of Softball and True School Sports and John G's Beat and everything else that you do is all about.
Thanks for letting me crash the party, Mike. I have a website, John G's Beat. I cover a lot of sports and entertainment type stuff, and Justin of Justin's World of Softball contacted me last summer and asked me if I would want to cover the Bandits, and I jumped at the chance, and that brings me here.
Well, you had a chance to sit down with the two coaches before the game and talk to them a little bit about the strategy before the ball game. What has it been about the NPF that's been exciting for you to cover and to obviously promote these athletes, which really they work so hard after their collegiate career to promote the game at the next level?
Well, I think that's just it, Mike. They work so hard, and you don't get enough publicity for these ladies, and they're exceptional athletes. They're all very nice women. The organization, the Bandits organization, has been fantastic to us, and really, what better night could you have? It's a beautiful night. You got expressways in the background, you got airplanes above, and it's perfect out here.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We're visiting with John Robleski. He's involved with a lot of different websites here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Here it's 1-0 Akron over Chicago, and a 3-1 count right now to Ashley Thomas with one out here in the Racer half of the second inning of play. And John, you're also involved in a lot of other sports besides softball. Tell the fans a little bit about some of the other activities that you have with the other sports in the area.
Well, we cover the Rockford Ice Hogs, the Chicago Blackhawks #1 minor league affiliate. We cover Resistance Pro Wrestling. We also cover the Chicago Bliss, two-time Legends Football League champion Chicago Bliss. And we cover a lot of conventions like Wizard World, Flashback Weekend, Days of the Dead, those type of things. A lot of celebrities and sports guys are at those conventions.
Well, the Rockford Ice Hogs obviously have come to the forefront now in the people's consciousness because, whenever there's an injury on the parent club, you always hear about young players that are coming up, and I would imagine that that's a very exciting place to be, especially with the success that the Blackhawks have had recently.
Well, that stadium just rocks. For the Ice Hogs, they love that team, and I like to say it's the Ice Hogs of today are the Blackhawks of tomorrow, so it's a chance to go out there and see what the future holds for the Blackhawks.
Ayumi Kalino, the Japanese star, is at the plate right now, the right fielder in the driver's seat now with a 2-0 count. The Akron Racers with a 1-0 lead on an Arissa Myers solo home run to right center field, the second hitter of the first inning for the Akron Racers. And the other sport that I had a chance to follow when I was younger was roller derby, and you had a chance to see, I think it was the LA Thunderbirds.
Oh, back in the old days.
Probably
absolutely.
Myself a little bit, John, but you're involved with the Windy City Rollers, and we had a chance to see them out at Illinois Benedictine when we went out there for a remote with Danielle Zimkowitz along with R.T. Cantillo's. Kalino's going to probably, and she will, beat out that bunt at first base. So now the Racers have something cooking again with two runners on and only one out.
Well, the Windy City Rollers, you mentioned the old LA Thunder. That's a little bit different. I used to follow that too, but the Windy City Rollers, it's actually now legitimate sport. It's all, there's scoring, there's official rules. There's still the theatrics, but now it's a legitimate sport.
So not so much wrestling on roller skates.
Not so much wrestling. There's still a lot of toughness. Those girls are tough, but it's a lot of fun.
Let's touch base a little bit on our pro wrestling as far as what venues they participate in and the scope of that particular sport.
Well, they mostly do the south suburbs. Willowbrook, they just had a show this past Saturday at the barn in Willowbrook. It's unusual to see wrestling in a petting zoo, but that's just the type of stuff you'd see at our pro. It's fantastic action in the ring. The storylines, the wrestlers, it's a solid night of entertainment.
1-0 count now to the leadoff hitter Barrett as she shortens up as if to bunt. Two runners on here is Sarah Moulton again in a jam here in the second inning of play. John, you're talking to a guy that goes back to Vern Gagne and Blackjack Lanza and Bruiser and Crusher and all that. So I would imagine that's the same kind of storylines with the fans over there and a lot of action inside the turnbuckle.
Exactly. It's wrestling is wrestling. You're going to have the new generation, but you still have the storylines. You still have the characters. You still have the rabid fans. It's truly a fun time out there.
So besides some of the pictures and sounds, are you involved with blogging? Do you get involved with some of the background stories of some of the athletes?
Well, we try to do that. We try to present more than just what's happening today. I like to say our stuff is more feature-driven than actual play-by-play or game-by-game stuff. We try to present for the Bandits a little bit of behind-the-scenes look at the athletes. I mean, anyone can look at the scores and see who's hitting what and what averages, but so we try to bring a little bit of the personality of the lady athletes.
Yeah, I tell you, and it's there's some great storylines here with this Bandit team, a very young team, only 3 players over the age of 25, and a lot of first and second year players. And in talking with Stu as well as with Roman, as you have as well, a lot of players that they believe are going to play for a while. Is now it's going to be a play by Z to second base, and let's see. No, they ruled it. Tammy Williams was not able to hold on to that ball and keep control. So the bags are going to be full of racers here as the Bandits now in a little bit of trouble. Barrett will reach on the fielder's choice. Still only 1 out here in the second.
It's a little bit of a rough start here tonight.
Yeah, that was a tough chance there for Z, as now Thomas moves into third and Colino in scoring position now at second base for the dangerous Narissa Myers.
We're just so used to seeing Danielle and Tammy pull off the unbelievable plays.
Yeah, it's really amazing that Tammy Williams, with over 130 chances this year, with only 1 error.
That's ridiculous.
All season long. I mean, the shortstop's usually got 6 or 7 by now.
It really is a joy to watch them. It's like poetry in motion with these ladies.
Yeah, had a chance to visit with Amber Patton, as I'm sure you did, and found out, of course, that this is going to be her swan song this season. Her leadership, as well as her drive and determination, is certainly going to be missed by this organization.
Yeah, I'd like to say I got the scoop on that. She said that she did not officially announce it, but then she did on our interview, so I'm going to grab credit for that one.
There you go.
Take all I can get, right?
Hey, whenever you can break a story. That's certainly something that you can put a feather in your cap on. As you got Justin's World of Softball, True School Sports, John G's Beat, and that's JOHNGYS Beat, along with the Patch. Tell us a little bit about what that's about.
Well, the Patch is an AOL news site, and it covers communities all over the country, actually, local communities. And I've been writing for the Patch for about 3 years. The same type of stuff, Bandits, Resistance, Roller Derby. The same thing that I do, I just bring across the platform of all the media places I can.
Absolutely. You got to give credit as well to your colleague Jack Keenan.
Jack is my ace photographer. He's one of many guys I use, but possibly the best.
And a line drive to Amber Patton results in a double play as she's able to tag Ashley Thomas, who wandered off the third base bag. Boy, that was certainly a great way to end the inning, John.
Nice way to get out of a jam.
So in the inning for the Akron Racers, they failed to score. They do pick up a base hit. There were no Bandit errors. And with the twin killing, 2 runners left, so the Racers now have stranded 4 through the first 2 innings of play. We'll head to the bottom half of the second inning. John, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Time, and really appreciate it. We look forward to more of the featured articles on John G's Beat here with the Chicago Bandits.
Thank you, Mike. It was a pleasure, man.
No problem. So we'll head now to the bottom half of the second inning of play. Our second inning is brought to us by Rosemont Health and Fitness. It's a multi-purpose health plan near the intersection of Higgins and Manheim. You can check them out on the web at rosemontfitness.com. 1-0, Racers over the Bandits. Back with the bottom half of the second inning of play here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Second inning coming up here at the ballpark at Rosemont. 1-0 lead for Akron. It'll be the middle third of the Bandit lineup, led off by Kylie Quico, the designated player. Megan Blank and Tammy Williams will follow to face the right-handed slants of Rachel Fico for the Racers.
Surprised to see Kylie Quico in the cleanup role because she's been struggling with the bat ever since she had that big debut.
Well, certainly a sign of faith by Mike Stewart to give her some opportunity here in the middle of that Bandit lineup. And boy, if they could get that right-handed bat going of the former Oregon Duck, it would certainly help the offense for this Bandit ball club. Kylie trying to adjust to that role as a designated player. Of course, she is the former Akron racer and is familiar with that role, but certainly has also played a lot of first base.
I think there's some strategy involved with that, Mike, since this is her former team, so she probably knows all the pitch calls, all the calls over at first and third. So there's some strategy involved with that.
We'll see if she can get something going here as the Bandits so far have failed to get a safety in the game. Pico with a 61-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch there to even up the count at 2 apiece to double nines. Kylie Quico. Special thanks again to John Robleski for taking the time and stopping up along with Jack Keenan. And we'll have our third 3and2sports.com payoff pitch here of the early part of this game.
Kylie's doing a great job in this at-bat and really remaining disciplined.
It's a great job by Amanda Schnoblen to sing our national anthem out here today as Quico hits that one right up the elevator shaft to the left fielder Shelly Robinson. She calls off Jill Barrett and comes in to squeeze it for out number 1.
That was some great communication between Jill Barrett and Shelly Robinson. Robinson called off Barrett knowing that she had the angle, which was way better than Jill Barrett because she had to back up a little bit, and Robinson was able to put it away for the first out.
Boy, that wind really caught that ball and brought it all the way in, almost to the end of the infield there. So the former Hawkeye, Megan Blank, with a shot down the first base line. She'll make the turn and stop at first base. A good job by the right fielder, Colino, to get it back in one hop. But the Bandits have a one-out base hit from the former Hawkeye, Megan Blank.
Terrific ball placement by Megan Blank. I mean, it's a game of inches, Mike, and Megan Blank found the right inch.
She certainly did as she got it inside the bag. And Brianna Hamilton there, along with the first base umpire in tonight's game, Bob Sells. So T-Will, now Tammy Williams will come to the plate. Number 2 comes in, 2 for 3 in the series with a run scored. And she's also increased that RBI total earlier in this weekend. Tammy coming off an 0 for 19 slump and seems to have things turned around here and take a little bit of pressure off of her, putting her in the bottom of that lineup along with Allard. Gives the Bandits a lot of balance, 1 through 9. Blank's got pretty decent speed at first base. Pico continuing to change speeds, go up and down and in and out to the Bandit hitters so far in her first inning and a third.
Bandits defense has been pretty sloppy lately. Coming into this game, they actually had 13 errors in their past 10.
And Tammy takes that 1-2 just inside. So it's 2-2 now to number 2 as 2 Northwestern Wildcats go back-to-back with Emily Allard on deck. Montalvo continuing to play even with the bag at third, and now she backs up a step or 2. Now she'll creep in. 2-2 pitch is grounded over the head of Fico. Going to be a tough play, and they get her by a half a step. Terrific job by Ashley Thomas to come in with the sidearm toss. Meanwhile, Megan Blank does move into scoring position now with 2 outs.
That was a great play by Ashley Thomas. She fielded the ball cleanly and knew she had to get it out in a hurry because Tammy Williams doesn't have Emily Allard's speed, but she has some pretty decent speed, and that was a great job by Thomas to get it over there.
So Emily now with an RBI opportunity, and she's come through big time earlier this week when those situations have presented themselves. Opener on Monday, she was 2 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI base hit. That came in the 6th inning of play. This ball is slapped towards center field, but a good job by Taylor Schwalpe playing her perfectly. She drifts towards left center field and puts it away for out number 3. So the Bandits do get a runner in scoring position for the first time this evening, but they failed to score on that base hit. The Racers were perfect in the field, and one runner left on base. We've completed 2 innings of play here at the ballpark at Rosemont. It's the Akron Racers on a solo home run by Narissa Myers, leading the Chicago Bandits 1-0 here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Thanks for everybody checking in. It's streaming at ChicagoBandits.com, including Jim Wasson, watching from Fargo, North Dakota. Jim's brother, Jerry, is at the game tonight. Welcome, Jerry. We certainly welcome you to the ballpark and hope you enjoy the atmosphere. It's certainly a beautiful night to watch softball tonight. So there you get a look at Shelly Robinson. Shelly walked and was eventually wiped out on a brilliant play in that first inning, as she stands in at 271 on the season. She'll be followed by Uten along with Montalvo. The Racers have out-hit the Bandits 2-1, and they've outscored them 1-0. Dr. Jackson and Oral Health Care Professionals offer unmatched comprehensive family dentistry in the western suburbs, and you can get those services by Dr. Jackson and Oral Health Care Professionals. Robinson takes that 1-2 pitch just outside as another airplane comes flying overhead, heading to O'Hare just to our west.
I did a little research today, Mike, and it turns out the league itself actually traces back to 1976, when it was founded as the International Women's Professional Softball Association.
Yeah, it's a long history, and of course even goes back farther than that when you take a look at the league of their own, and we had one of the players from that particular league up with us earlier, so it really goes back even farther than that towards the wartime era.
I also found out back in 1976 they had a team called the Chicago Bandits.
2-2 count now to Robinson, and ringing her up on the play is Eric Manley as that one hits the black for the second strikeout for the former Golden Gophers, Sarah Moulton.
That was a great pitch by Sarah Moulton. She kept the ball in control. She also did a great job of not losing her on the even count, and she was able to find the zone there and was able to record her first strikeout.
So 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, as well as 1 hit by pitch for Moulton so far in the ball game. So Haley Uten now will come to the plate. She was a recipient of that hit by pitch down low around the ankles back in the first inning. Sarah's had 2 runners on in each of the first and second innings, but is able to wiggle out of those jams right after the home run by Narissa Myers. Uten with a shot, and Amber Patton is right there with the vacuum and the right glove to make the grab.
Great play by Amber Patton to know right off the bat that it was coming toward her, and she was able to put her glove in position to make the out. Amber Patton's certainly been busy over there so far tonight, Mike.
Tammy Williams, as we mentioned, with only 1 error, and multiple chances of fielding this particular season. And Tammy Williams has also done a terrific job this year. She leads the team in assists with 82. Patton's right behind her with 74 in that category. Patton has committed 6 errors at third base. And as we mentioned, Tammy Williams is not even showing up on the leaders for the Bandits because she's only got 1 miscue all year long.
That's certainly a long vacuum cleaner over on the left side.
Montalvo watches the 0-1 pitch sail outside. She reached on a fielder's choice back in the first. It was eventually stranded there when Schlopey struck out to end the first inning for the Racers. Racers come in 2 games under the break-even mark, so they're looking to end the season at 500. And, of course, they already have the confidence that they can beat this Bandit team as they did it in 2014 down in Hoover. So confidence will certainly not be a factor between August the 14th and the 18th for the Black and Red. Montalvo hits the 2-1 down to Z. She bobbles it, and she's still able to recover and get it over to Megan Blank in time. So a nice recovery there by the former Fighting Illini, Danielle Zimkowitz. So 3 up and 3 down for the Racers here in their half of the third inning of play. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left. 4 in a row now retired by Sarah Moulton as we head to the Chicago Bandit half of the third inning. It's brought to us by Kings Lanes. They're located right across the street at beautiful MB Financial Park in Rosemont. Time for cowbells here at the ballpark at Rosemont. 1-0 Racers over the Bandits on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Simkowitz, Moss, and Cervantes coming up now to face Rachel Fico in the home half of the third inning of play. The Akron Racers with a 1-0 lead over the Chicago Bandits as we head into the frame. And want to give a special hello out to the Berquist family. Terrific fans of the NPF. Mary Al, Holland, and Jerry are enjoying the game from home tonight. And they'll see us at the ballpark tomorrow. Jerry, if you get a chance, stop up in the booth and say hi. It's been great hearing from you all year long, and we certainly appreciate your loyalty and support of the NPF. So Danielle Zimkowitz stands in right now at .228 on the season with a home run and 11 runs driven in. And Z so far in the series is 0 for 3. She did reach on a fielder's choice in the second in the game yesterday. Watch Danielle before the game taking some extra BP, trying to work on that stroke towards left field. Trying to get that particular swing down, especially against the off-speed pitching of Rachel Fico. She turns on that one and hits it over the Bandit bullpen towards the Don Q Runner Lounge.
Simkowitz has an opportunity here to possibly even break that slump because Carino is allowing a gap over to her right.
Yeah, she pulls one. She can run all the way to third. Diving stop by Montalvo and the laser beam across to Hamilton. And there you see why Kelly Montalvo was a Defensive Player of the Year in the NPF in recent history.
Great play by Kelly Montalvo, diving on that one and able to get it out of her glove quickly to get the speedy Danielle Zimkowitz.
So 1 up and 1 down now as double nickels Brenna Moss will come to the plate. Former Bulldog from Fresno takes that off-speed pitch a little bit high for ball 1. Brenna in her rookie season at 182 on the season with their first NPF home run this year and 8 runs driven in.
Brenda's doing a great job also out in left field.
Yeah, picked up a couple catches earlier this season, one sliding into the base of the fence down the foul line, and the other one taking the ball right off the top of the padded area on the top of that railing just outside the visitors' bullpen.
In regards to her bat, Mike, I honestly think she's a better swing away hitter than a slap hitter.
She lays one down right now. Montalvo comes in with the sidearm throw and a great stretch by Hamilton to retire the Speedy Moss. And right now, Kelly Montalvo on fire defensively at the hot corner.
That was a great read by Kelly Montalvo. She was able to come in and make the play and get the Speedy Brenna Moss.
So back to the top of the order now with double deuce, and Brittany Cervantes takes that first pitch for a base hit. She is not going to test the arm of Taylor Schlopey. So Brittany Cervantes, she has reached base every time she's come to the plate in this home series.
What a rip by Brittany Cervantes. She just laser beamed that right up the middle and is able to get herself on first base.
We'll take a look at some of the numbers here that Double Deuce has put up here. They've just been steady as she goes. Her 35th hit of the season now with that base hit. She's had 13 extra base hits out of those 35 hits, so almost half of her hits have gone for extra bases. Amber Patton 0 for 1, reached on a fielder's choice back in the first. Cervantes with decent speed over at first base. She's only attempted one steal all year. Now it'll be a race to the first base bag and a diving effort there by Brianna Hamilton, able to retire Amber Patton, one unassisted to retire the side for the home team. So the Bandits do pick up a 2-out base hit off the bat of Brittany Cervantes, but they strand her right there. The Bandits now have stranded 2 runners in the first 3 innings of action. We'll head to the top half of the 4th inning of play. Our 4th inning is brought to us by Global Security Group. Global Security Group is home of today's worldwide security service and investigations. They secure answers and peace of mind at Global Security Group. 1-0 Akron over Chicago. We'll head to the top half of the 4th inning of play on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
Jones here. It's time to get up and stop. Dance around for free t-shirts. That's right. Buster Move Backstar Dance Crew is in the stands.
All right, welcome back to the ballpark here in Rosemont. And leading off for the Racers is Taylor Schlopey. Last time up, she struck out. That one's fouled back. 0-1.
Yeah, Sarah's really keeping the ball inside on Schlopey right now, trying to not allow her to extend those arms where she gets most of her power from. She's had 8 home runs this season. And, of course, done her usual stellar job in center field defensively.
Coach Brian Levin's been really impressed with Schlopey's work ethic this offseason, really working on her bat, and it's definitely paid off here this season. The Racers got on the board thanks to a home run by Nerissa Myers. And right now, that's where the score stands, 1-0 in favor of Akron. One and two now to Schlope, former University of Georgia Bulldog.
The Charge and the Pride will be going at it again coming up here in a few minutes over at Constellation Field in Sugar Land, Texas. And they're expecting another big crowd down there tonight.
1-2 to Schlope.
We'll have our season finale tomorrow night here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com with a 6:50 pregame and 7:05 first pitch.
There's a shot, and that's going to find the hole. Taylor Schlope has her first hit in the evening with a single.
Also her first hit of the series as she goes the other way on that one, and now good speed aboard here for the Racers.
And here's Brianna Hamilton. Last time up, she grounded out to Amber Patton. 1-0 in favor of Akron.
4 of 7 in stolen bases for the former Bulldog from Georgia. Schlope, the Racers on the year, 24 of 36 in stolen bases.
Winds are moving slightly to the right. The winds kind of died down a little bit this evening. 0-1 to Hamilton. Something else I read, Mike, on ESPNW was the Bandits' Pride rivalry is really going to depend on the top 3 draft picks from this year, and Lacy Waldrup, Lauren Chamberlain, and Shelby Penley. Shelby Penley arguably has been the most productive out of all 3 of them.
Yeah, some shrewd moves by the Pride front office with the best record in the league to be able to secure the top 2 draft choices in the draft was certainly some good moves there to help replenish the player development area of the Pride as they, of course, lost Caitlin Lowe in the offseason.
That one's just out of the zone, and it evens up now at 2-2.
Brianna Hamilton, nicknamed Reesy by her teammates.
Kind of sounds like Lil Wayne. 2-2 to Hamilton. There's a shot, and great play by Danielle Zimkowitz to get in front of that one. 1 down. Hamilton tried to check it up there, Mike, and unfortunately popped it right at 2Z.
Well, Sarah's done a good job so far in the early going of wiggling out of a couple of jams with 2 runners on in both the first and second, and another runner on here so far in the 4th. The 3rd was the only inning when she retired the Racers 3 up and 3 down.
Here's Thomas. There's a shot, and that one gets past Tammy Williams. So Ashley Thomas has her first hit of the evening on that single, which will move Taylor Schlope to second base.
Well, that ball got back to Brenna Moss so quickly, she almost had a force play there on Schlope. So the Racers now have doubled up on the Bandits in the hit column at 4-2. And now they have to worry about a Yumi Carino.
Here is Carino. Last time up, she had a single. And it looks like the Bandits infield is going to come in and have a conference with Moulton.
And it looks like Mike Stewart is going to go to the bullpen here, and it's going to be a quick hook here for Sarah Moulton. So she's going to end up going 3 1/3 innings of work. I believe that's Tatum Edwards that's going to be coming into the circle. Your pregame guest.
Yes, we had a great conversation also about Nebraska softball, how important it is for someone who pitches to be a good hitter because it takes one less person out of the game.
Well, I think it's important. I think Stu realizes it's important to get both Sarah and Tatum some work here in the latter part of the season because they're going to need them down in Hoover, especially if you get into the late innings of games and extra innings. And, of course, you get a lot of back-to-back games with best-of-3 series. So you got to have a deep bullpen heading down there now so the former Cornhusker gets an opportunity to throw to Sister Taylor.
Tatum talked about how much easier it is to throw to Taylor because she trusts her with just about everything since they're both twins, and it makes it just so much easier. They know each other's signs, they know each other's tendencies, and knowing that really helps a pitcher out when they're throwing to a catcher, is they have to really know each other and have a good relationship with each other in order to have success both in the circle and behind the plate.
So Sarah Moulton pitched 3 1/3 innings, giving up 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned on the home run by Narissa Myers. She walked 2, struck out 2, and also hit a batter. And there you get a good look now at Tatum Edwards coming into the ball game for the Chicago Bandits. Tatum coming in with a record of 3-3, an earned run average of 5.25. This is her 9th appearance of the year, her 6th in relief. She's pitched 24 innings, giving up 23 hits, 21 runs, 18 of which have been earned. The walk has been the bugaboo so far for Tatum, as she's walked 21 and struck out 12.
Those runners are the responsibility of Sarah Moulton, so as you would say, Mike, the book isn't completely closed on her.
See if Tatum can pitch out of another jam here.
So here's Carino. There's a ball. 1-0 now. I was reading also on ESPNW that it's going to be interesting for the front office to really clear a hurdle because Lacy Waldrup is about to begin on that 10-month internship, which could potentially make her come up late.
Well, hopefully they'll get a little bit of a concession from the employer there. I know Amber's been able to get that with Total Control Sports.
A little bit high, 2-1.
Lacy will certainly be an important part of the staff in 2016 if she does decide to come back.
Monica Abbott yesterday took over the lead of the earned run average category. Her numbers this year are microscopic. There's the bunt. And that one is perfectly placed as Carino is able to get over to first base on that bunt.
So second time now that Carino has been able to get an infield single. She's now 2 for 2. And now the bags are full of racers here with only 1 out. And you've got a very dangerous hitter coming up now, the 3rd leading hitter in the NPF, and Jill Barrett.
So here is Barrett. She grounded out to Tammy Williams and also reached on an error. There's the ball. Tatum's really got to have some control here. She needs to pitch to her defense because that could potentially set up the double play. That one's high. 2-0.
Outfield playing Barrett very shallow. There you get a good look at the numbers that Jill has put up this season. Now Tatum really brought some giddy up on that one. 65 miles an hour right underneath the hands of Barrett.
That was some great placement there. 2-1 now on Barrett. 1 out. Bags full of racers. There's a shot. And that one's going to drop in for a base hit. So an RBI single for Jill Barrett as that drives in Taylor Schlope, and now it's 2-0 Akron.
4th hit of the inning for the Racers. And a nice job there by Barrett to go the other way to pick up the RBI. That is her 12th ribby of the season. There you see her just kind of go with the pitch to the far side. Good job by Brenna Moss to get it in quickly and minimize the damage.
So here's Narissa Myers. Last time up, she grounded into a double play by lining out to Amber Patton, who in turn tagged out Ashley Thomas. She also has a homer in this game back in the 1st. 2-0 to Myers.
Saw the former Fighting Irish from Notre Dame, Laura Winter, taking some notes on the bench, and Lisa Norris kicking back after a 6-inning effort last night for the Racers.
So contrary to people believing Kelly Kreshman isn't that fast, Mike, she's 10 for 10 on stolen bases.
Yeah, she's really stepped up the speed game for the Pride.
Three and 1 to Myers. Bags are full of Racers and 1 out. There's a shot, and that one's foul. And that's going to load it up now. Brought to you by 3 and 2 Sports.
Major League Baseball going on. The Red Sox and the Yankees doing battle at the second house that Ruth built, so to speak. 3-2 in favor of the Bronx Bombers. The Cubs over the Pirates, 4-0 in the top of the 6th.
There's a shot, and that's going to be trouble. 1 run's going to score here. That's going to be another run, and they're going to have him in a rundown. Barrett's going back and forth, and there's going to be a runner out. This might be a similar situation that we ran into yesterday, as Myers are trying to get over to third.
Now, I think the difference here is that the runner was tagged out before she reached the base. The situation that Eric was talking about was a situation where they ruled that one of the runners passed the other one. So Myers will get the RBI, the 2 RBI double, and she'll reach third on the rundown. As getting tossed out was Barrett, and that putout would go 5-2 as Taylor Edwards made the putout.
So here's Shelly Robinson. There's a ground ball. No problem for Blank as they get the final out of the inning. But not before the Racers tack on 3 more, thanks to RBIs by Jill Barrett and Nerissa Myers. We head now to the Bandit half of the 4th inning. 4-0 now in favor of Akron. You're watching Chicago Bandits softball on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
Language 12U All-Star.
Marissa, not Marisa.
Okay.
Marissa. Yeah.
Western Illinois alumni out of the party deck. Welcome to Ballpark. And a very special welcome to the Les Turner ALS Night.
Bottom of the 4th here in Rosemont, 4-0 in favor of Akron. Tonight at the ballpark, it is also Les Turner ALS Night. As you notice, the Bandits are wearing this special blue, orange, and black jersey.
Also had a booth down there, Eric, in the lobby area for ALS, the Les Turner Foundation. The Bandits do a great job of raising funds for that organization.
It's also Western Illinois Alumni Night as they're occupying the party deck out in left field.
Now we got some other groups out here that we're going to recognize as well tonight.
Here's Taylor Edwards. Last time up, she grounded into a 1-6-3 double play.
Don Q Rum Runner Lounge is the sponsor of the Don Q Lounge down the right field line. They're available for parties of 10 to 50 people.
Those 3 runs are going to be charged to Sarah Moulton. 4-0 in favor of Akron. 4-7-0 for them, 0-2-1 for the Bandits.
Actually, one will go to Tatum Edwards. Colino reached and scored, so the line is closed now on Moulton. She gave up 3 runs, and they were all earned.
That one's fouled back, and it's going to be 2-2 now on Edwards. Tonight so far, Mike, Fico has really looked like the all-MPF form from last year.
She certainly has. Really mixing in that breaking ball nicely with the fastball.
There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Edwards goes down swinging, and that is Fico's first strikeout of the game.
She's had good control since the leadoff walk to Cervantes. She's not issued any more free passes.
So here's Kylie Quico. Last time up, she flew out to Shelly Robinson out and left. 4-0 in favor of Akron. Good check by Quico, 1-0. Winds are slightly still.
A beautiful sunset out here over the Chicago skyline as the planes continue to roll in.
Beautiful sunset also.
Yeah, low humidity, which is nice. Get well wishes go out to Bilal Mohammed. We hope to see him back out here tomorrow night. Ronnie Capuzzo doing the directing tonight. Caroline Muller helping us with the graphics. Rebecca Pasteris down at third base on the camera. Sarah Mogatich over at first. Brendan Culleton helping out along with Max Arnold tonight. Special thanks to Ben Erickson and the whole Beacon Academy crew for terrific work all throughout the season here at the ballpark.
That one's way outside, so Quico is going to end up on first base with that walk. And this brings up Megan Blank, who has one of the 2 hits tonight for the Chicago Bandits.
That was Megan's first hit of the series. She did have a sacrifice on Monday.
So Quick goes on first base, and here is Blank. Got an opportunity to talk to Megan Blank the day before. Well spoken, pretty relaxed.
Yeah, she's been through the Big Ten battles. Grays Lake Pride are also joining us out here tonight, along with the Grays Lake Wolverines. We also welcome on board the Woodridge Lightning. And as Eric mentioned, the Western Illinois alumni are in the party deck tonight in left field as they proudly display their purple in support of Sammy Marshall. Headwish 12U All-Stars are also with us tonight in our groups.
2-1 on Blank. It's going to be an interesting Rookie of the Year race, Mike, with Shelby Penley and Caitlin Richardson, who both by far have been outstanding rookies this season.
Yeah, I would think Penley would be right up there amongst the discussion.
In her first game, she went 4 for 4 and hasn't looked back since this season.
Hitting .300 with 4 home runs and 11 RBIs. The aforementioned Richardson at .304.
That one's just foul, and it's still going to be a full count now on Blank.
And of course, Megan would certainly be in the discussion on that one, as her power numbers have been steadily rising throughout the year. The average a little bit down in comparison with Richardson and Penley.
She certainly has been one of the surprises this season for the Bandits. There's a shot, and that one's going to drop in for a base hit. So Megan Blank picks up her second hit of the evening with that single.
Quico was off with the pitch on that one. Unfortunately for the Bandits, nobody caught that one on the fly. So Megan Blank, 2 for 2 now tonight.
So here's Tammy Williams. Last time up, she grounded out. It was a nice play by the second baseman, Ashley Thomas, and that one had to get that one out of there in a hurry. And that one's foul. Oh, and 1 to Williams.
Nobody's paying attention to us there. You're going to have to get the bullhorn up here or something.
Oh, can use the glass.
Felt good to stretch.
Yeah. I gotta give my hats off to the production crew next door and also Belial for really coming through yesterday on some tough circumstances, Mike.
Yeah, the first game, of course, coming back from that storm was interesting. Thank goodness we talked about the fact that clinic had dismissed right before the storm hit. When you have 400 youth over there watching Jenny Finch in the clinic, and certainly good timing there when Mother Nature reared its ugly head.
I'm glad I got out of there.
It was not pretty.
Someone took a video of it, and I got to just see how ugly it was. And that one's foul. Great hustle, though, by Montalvo. 1 and 2 to Williams. Also, one of the coaches at that clinic was Crystal Bustos.
Former racer.
1 and 2 to Williams. Also, Mackenzie Vandergeest, a former Bandit. Also a member of the Rockford Thunder. That's going to load up the count now, 3 and 2.
Let's see now what Mike Stewart decides to do here on a full count with only 1 out and a good contact hitter up there in T-Will.
So it's a full count, runners on first and second and 1 out. That one's slashed foul. Also, back in 1976, Mike, with the International Women's Professional Softball Association, they had 120 games played, along with 60 doubleheaders.
And that's Iron Man work or Iron Woman work, whatever you want to call it. That's a lot of softball in a short period of time.
Especially 60 doubleheaders playing 2 in 1 day. There's a shot, and that one's going to get through. And Williams comes up with an RBI double on that play. And is able to drive in Kylie Quico, but Megan Blank is out.
That's an 8-5 put out on that one as T-Wall comes up with the RBI going the other way. For Tammy Williams, now 17 RBIs on the season. And a heads-up move by her to get into scoring position after the throw-out at third base.
So this is Emily Allard. Last time up, she flew out.
Nice job by Montalvo to recognize the overslide there by Kylie. Or by Megan, excuse me.
0-1 Allard. Bandits are finally on the scoreboard, and I bet Tammy Williams is pretty relieved to get herself yet another RBI. 1-1 to Allard. There's a shot, and that one's going to get through. Williams is going to have to hustle here, and Williams scores on the RBI double by Emily Allard, and it is now 4-2, still in favor of the Racers.
So Emily Allard continue her hot hitting after coming back from the injury, as a former Northwestern Wildcat joins her fellow alumni with her 12th RBI of the season. So she picks up the single, takes second on the throw-in as Tammy Williams comes across, and now the Bandits have cut the lead in half.
So here's Danielle Zimkowitz. That's a can of corn. No problem for the center fielder, Taylor Slopey, and that retires the side, but the Bandits do pick up 2 runs thanks to RBIs by Tammy Williams and also Emily Allard. We head now to the top of the 5th inning. 4-2 still in favor of Akron. You're watching Chicago Bandits softball on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
With water. But this is about more than just, some freezing bandits. It's about donating money to find a cure for ALS. So we need your help with that. Anything you have, $1, $2, $5. We appreciate it and we love the support from you guys. Thank you. Go Bandits!
Top of the 5th here at the ballpark in Rosemont. 4-2 in favor of the Akron Racers.
A number of players on both squads will be participating.
Great job by Lacy Waldrup to again promote the ALS Foundation here at the ballpark as the Bandits go with a collection during each game. And last year she announced that they've raised $20,000 to find a cure for ALS. And the fans again reaching deep here to try to help the Bandits in that partnership.
So here's Haley Uten. In one official at bat, she flew out to Danielle Zimkowitz. There's a shot, and that's going to find its way into the center field for a single. First hit of the evening for Haley Uten.
Our 5th inning is brought to us by American Chartered Bank. Bank where the pros bank at American Chartered Bank.
So here's Kelly Montalvo. In one official at bat, she grounded out to Danielle Zimkowitz.
The Dallas Charge have now taken a 2-0 lead over the USSSA Pride in their half of the 4th inning down in Sugar Land. Getting those 2 runs off of Kalani Ricketts, the former Sooner from Oklahoma. Charge able to pick up some great offensive production from Nicole Morgan in the bottom of their order.
There's a bunt. And what a play by Megan Blank. Throws it over for the double play. Talk about a web gem, Mike.
Boy, Megan doing a great job and then having the presence of mind to go 3-4. Zimkowitz doing a nice job of covering first base to get the double play. So for the Bandits, they pick up their 2nd double play of the evening.
Great hustle by Blank. You're going to see here on this replay. Montalvo tried to bunt it. That one was clean in the webbing of the glove. Threw it over quickly to Z. Okay. So here's Slopey. She is 1 for 2 tonight.
Guys, let's keep that one in mind for our Diamond Sports play of the ball game.
Slopey also has scored tonight. Part of that 3-run 4th inning. 2 outs and nobody on base. 4-8-0 for the Racers, 2-5-1 for the Bandits. One and 2 now to Slopey. Boy, talk about the amazing year Monica Abbott's been having, Mike. A microscopic ERA, again 100 strikeouts, and only 1 loss.
Yeah, I think if she had a little bit more time, she might be able to challenge that record of Jenny Finch for the lowest ERA in team history, but unfortunately there's not enough innings to pitch to be able to do that.
due to her responsibilities over in Japan. It's a full count now to Schlope. There's a shot. Patton. Yes. And that retires the side. So Haley Uten opened the inning with a single, but thanks to a diving catch by Megan Blank to force a double play here, this ends the inning. 4-2 in favor of Akron. And coming up next, Alec Janikopoulos will have a very special guest down in the dugout. You're watching Chicago Bandits softball on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
Every time, visit Cole Construction.
So far tonight, she is 0 for 1. She grounded out over to Montalvo. Beautiful night here at the ballpark in Rosemont. Four to 2 in favor of Akron. There's a shot. No problem for the shortstop, Jill Barrett, as she retires Moss. Moss is 0 for 2 now.
Folks, keep in mind the 2015 National Pro Fast Pitch Championship Series is going to be held in Hoover, Alabama from August the 14th through the 18th at Hoover Metropolitan Stadium. Get your tickets online at profastpitch.com.
We're going to send it dugout side where Alec Janikopoulos will have our guest. Take it away, Alec.
All right, guys, round 2. I'm here right now at Lacy Waldrup. Lacy, a great job yesterday on the mound and a complete game victory. What was your strategy going into it in terms of pitch variety?
I knew I just really had to change speeds. They have a lot of really big swingers on Akron's team, and if you mix it up a lot, keep the ball low, it really, kind of puts them in a bad position because they're going to hit a lot of ground balls. So that's really what I try to do, always trying to change speeds to really throw out the hitters.
And the Bandits in that victory gave up 2 errors. What changes do you make mentally to adjust and pitch through the errors?
Well, they were my own errors, so I had to adjust really quickly. Obviously, it's easy to get frustrated with yourself, but I try to play one pitch at a time, so I have to let that go and keep pitching, get us out of the inning. So, it is very frustrating, but at the same time, there's more game to play.
And a great career also in college. You said that you worked on your off-speed pitch, like your drop ball and your curve. Can you describe the coaching staff that helped you work on those off-speed pitches?
Our coaching staff was one of the best in the country for sure. Our head coach, Lonnie Alameda, is actually our pitching coach, and she really helped me develop my drop ball. So I came into college as a curveball pitcher and then completely did a 360 to a drop ball pitcher once I got there. And she just helped me work on the little details and really get better about using my legs, driving out, and getting the ball to really die down. So I have her to thank for a lot of that, but not only physically but mentally, how she worked on my pitching game.
And you describe the importance mentally of pitching not scared but aggressively. Can you describe what pitching scared is like and why it's better to pitch aggressively?
Pitching scared, I feel like you're trying to work around the hitters. You're not trusting your pitches to get them out. So you have to be aggressive and think, all right, I'm going to attack the zone. I'm going to give them my best pitch, and it's harder for them to hit it than it is for me to throw a strike. So I'm just going to try to work ahead in the counts and really attack the zone, trust my spin and my speed.
So yesterday may have been possibly your final start here at the ballpark of Rosemont. Looking back at your rookie year, how would you describe the community and the Bandits fans coming out of your night?
They are amazing. We've had a packed house for I think the last couple nights, and it's just really cool to see the community support us and really enjoy the game of softball. We have a ton of autographs to sign after every game, so it's neat to see all the little girls hopefully get impacted by an NPF team being here. So just really appreciative to the community of Rosemont and the surrounding communities that come out and help us out.
And with your first season, you'll be doing your first playoff experience at Hoover, Alabama in a few weeks. What are you most looking forward to in your first playoffs?
I think that just the competitive level of being in playoffs, you can't make a mistake, and you have to just turn around right away and start playing your best game, because it's not about what the best team was all year, it's about who's playing the best in championships. And I think that's exciting because we're really starting to play well, just see what we can do, and we can go a long way.
And you've described your passion for broadcasting, dream job being working with ESPN or a major media company. What fuels that passion?
I think just seeing role models like Jessica Mendoza, who grew up, she played softball, she was an Olympian, and now she's on Baseball Tonight. She's doing the College World Series, the Women's College World Series, and just looking up to people like that who've just really pushed the envelope for media, women in media specifically, it makes me want to do the same thing.
And at Florida State, you've described that for fun, you like to do something called wakeboarding. As someone who's from Illinois, I have no idea what wakeboarding is. How has your love for kind of water activities survived here in Rosemont?
Well, actually, it was growing up that I really got into wakeboarding because we had a boat when I was younger, and I really think that helped me develop the muscles I needed for pitching, because it's really a total body workout. But, we did go on the boat a couple times this summer, and I really appreciated that. The lake is beautiful, and I'm just glad to be somewhere near water.
I have to ask, does it compare to an ocean, or is it just kind of a lake?
It's so big that it looks like an ocean, so, if you tell your mind it is one, maybe you'll think about it that way.
Okay, well, great season and best of luck down in Hoover.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Alec. Terrific interview there. Tell you what, Mike, the only thing Lake Michigan's missing is the salt.
It's a busy place, that's for sure. I had a chance to go down there and walk the riverfront in Chicago. It's beautiful.
There's a shot. Nice play by Barrett, but she's unable to get it over to first base in time, and Amber Patton has her first hit of the evening.
Well, that brings up the tying run right now as Amber picks up hit number 2 in the series. I want to welcome on board the Edwards family. They're watching from Murrieta, California. Edwards family's been watching all season long. They give us kudos on the broadcast. They want to thank us for the pregame interview with Tate, and also that the Bandits hopefully will mount a comeback, and they give kudos as well to Megan Blank for a great play. So Denise and the family, we certainly welcome you on board and thank you for your viewership.
Yes, strike. Thank you, Mrs. Edwards, for the compliment. And here is the daughter of Mrs. Edwards, Taylor.
Good timing.
0-1 now to Taylor.
Talked about all the big hits that she's been able to deliver this year, and certainly Tatum has done a great job out of the bullpen to keep the Bandits within striking distance here.
1-2 now to Taylor. Something I like, Mike, is you've talked about before the well-spokenness of everybody we've interviewed.
Yeah, these ladies are educated, and they it goes without saying, they promote the game from start to finish, and that includes, of course, the post-game autographs.
Taylor's just able to get a piece of it, and still going to be 2-2. .480 for Akron, 2-6-1 for the Bandits. That one's going to get out of play.
I think that's going to be probably the biggest adjustment for Taylor Edwards, is that breaking ball. And she certainly did that against Kalani Ricketts earlier this year.
That one's got home run distance, but it's going to be foul.
Yeah, Taylor certainly has the power. The key thing, and she's practicing that time and time again, is to make sure that barrel doesn't get through too quickly. such a fine line between a pop-up and a home run. We saw that with Brittany Cervantes earlier this weekend as she tried to tie a ball game up with a sky-high fly ball that if she was about another eighth of an inch lower on that would have been well out of here. And these players, they practice it. A lot of the fans don't see that. If they come earlier, they can watch the players as they try to perfect that stroke, going right through the strike zone.
2-2 to Edwards. There's a shot, but unfortunately the center fielder, Taylor Schlopey, is able to settle under it for the out. So the Bandits leave one on base. We head now to the top of the 6th inning, 4-2 in favor of Akron. You're watching Chicago Bandits softball on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
Heating and cooling struggles to make our every service affordable and convenient. If you need air conditioning or new heater installed, we'll work with you to stay within your budget without sacrificing quality.
Hey guys, if you can direct your attention down here near first base.
So all kinds of fun and activities here at the ballpark as we head to the top half of the 6th inning of play. The Akron Racers with a 4-2 lead over the Chicago Bandits. Deljo Heating and Cooling is striving to make our every service affordable and convenient. So Tatum Edwards continuing to try to keep the Bandits in this one. 4-8-0 for the visitors, 2-6-1 for the home team. As we head to the top half of inning number 6, Brianna Hamilton will be followed by Ashley Thomas and Ayumi Colino to face the former Cornhusker from Nebraska. Meanwhile, the Dallas Charge continue to lead the USSSA Pride. They now open up a 3-0 lead over the front runners in the circuit. The red, white, and blue batting in their half of the 4th inning of play. And Morgan Mello continuing to pitch well for the Dallas Charge, and maybe setting the tone a little bit, because that's going to be the matchup down in Hoover.
Bandits should really take advantage of that. If the Dallas Charge can hold on against the Pride, that could help them later on. It's going to be a wild finish in this division race.
Right now, M Squared's got a one-hitter in that one. Little nubber back on the plate to Tatum, and she'll flip it over to Blank for out number 1.
That was a great pitch by Tatum, right in and on the hands of Hamilton, and she was able to get just a little bit of a number and was able to get it over to Megan Blank for the out.
Stay tuned after the game. We'll have our Combat Sports post-game report. We'll name our Boomba player of the game. And certainly that diving grab by Megan Blank is a candidate for our Diamond Sports play of the contest. So 1 up and 1 down now to the former Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, Ashley Thomas. She's officially 1 for 1 with a run scored tonight. Little number on the play over to Z, and Danielle will do a side flip there over to Megan Blank. 2 up and 2 down here. Tatum Edwards, since getting roughed up a little bit coming into the ball game, has retired the last 4 racers.
Tatum Edwards is doing a great job at settling down despite getting roughed up early. She's really calmed down since.
Yeah, ever since she got that break on the diving play by Megan Blank on the double play, she's been able to settle in a little bit.
Mike, last season marked the first time in 5 years that the Bandits and Pride did not face each other in the Cowles Cup.
Yeah, they were, of course, so here the year before that when the Pride were able to raise the trophy here on the Bandits' home field. As Kat Osterman just was lights out as she got the MVP of the series. Watch out on that one. Nicole Morgan 2 for 2 in the game for the Charge. She's got one of the 2 RBIs. Lauren Hager's picked up the other one with a base hit. Ooh, Colino just barely takes that one just outside. And that evens it up at 2-2. So deuces wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the Racers half of the 6th. They've doubled up on the Bandits 4-2. Laced past the glove of Tatum Edwards in the center field. And Ayumi Colino now a perfect 3 for 3 on the evening.
That was a great hit by Carino. She really fought in that at bat to really make Tatum Edwards work, and her work paid off there.
So Gerald Barrett, who has one of the RBIs for the Racers with a single in that 3-run 4th inning, will come to the plate here for Coach Levin and the Racers. Ari Yamada also with a run scored, a double in that game for the Charge. And Dallas is certainly going to give the Pride all they can handle down in Hoover.
They've proven this year they can compete against anybody.
Yeah, when you have Lauren Hager at the top of that staff, and then you add on Morgan Mello, who has really come on as of late. That's a nice 1-2 punch in a quick 3-game series. So 1 on here with 2 out. Slap down to Megan Blank, and she certainly has been playing some terrific defense out here tonight as she puts away Jill Barrett 3 unassisted to end the inning for Tatum Williams and the Bandit defense. So no runs on a base hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. The Racers have now stranded 6 through 6 innings of offensive softball. We'll head to the bottom half of the frame. Some work to do here for the Black and Orange as the Bandits trail the Racers. It's Akron 4 and Chicago 2 on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. So the book is done on the former Tiger from LSU. She went 5 innings, giving up 6 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned. She walked 1 and struck out 1. So now the Texas A&M Corpus Christi veteran here of the NPF, Sarah Pauly, will take the circle. And let's take a look at the numbers for the veteran. Pauly on the season coming in with a record of 9-4 and a brilliant earned run average of 1.80. She leads the staff in innings pitched with 92 1/3. And she's given up 76 hits, 35 runs, or 25 runs, 24 of which have been earned. She's walked 17, and she struck out 56. Sarah got a little bit of a flat tire, and she's going to have to replace the shoes now at the Akron dugout. Kylie Quico will lead it off, Eric, followed by Megan Blank and Tammy Williams, and hopefully some more for the Black and Orange.
Sarah Pauly's been really a comeback story this year after having a very down year last year, going 4-13 with the Rebellion. But what Coach Levin commented on that she praises Pauly for is her constant attention to detail. She's constantly studying catchers. She's constantly studying like where a pitcher is weak. Her constant attention to detail is what's really made her great. And Coach Levin has been very praising of that.
Yep, that's just experience. As now she'll put on the new grips here, as she didn't like the way the first pair were performing. See Roman 4 there in the background, the assistant coach for the Bandits, who is hoping to get a couple runners on first base to be able to wave around and make up this 2-run deficit that the Bandits face right here in the second game of this 3-game series. We'll wrap it up with the regular season finale tomorrow night here at 7:05. Come on out here to the ballpark and enjoy the final home game of the year here in Rosemont.
Also, speaking of home games, Mike, the 2016 season tickets for next season for the Bandits are on sale now.
Check them out at ChicagoBandits.com. And of course, that MPF series coming up over in Hoover. Get your tickets there at ProFastPitch.com. There's a lot of great events and great ticket packages for that National Pro Fast Pitch Championship Series. There's a sky-high pop-up into left field. Shelley Robinson will settle under the pop-up there by Kylie Quico, who's now officially 0 for 2 in the game. 1 up and 1 down for the Bandits.
That was a great pitch by Pauly right in on the hands of Kylie Quico, and she's able to get a pop-up there to get the first out of this inning.
There you get a good look at Sarah Pauly, who put up some just astounding numbers at a very small school at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Blank with a little soft liner. It is fielded on a hop day rule, so we'll go 4-3 on the putout, and that ruined Megan Blank and her perfect night tonight. So 2 up and 2 down now for Tammy Williams.
I thought for a moment there Ashley Thomas actually caught that.
Didn't really get an indication there from the first base umpire Bob Sells, so he assumed that she trapped it. Tammy so far in the game is officially 1 for 1 with an RBI single in the 4th. She grounded out to Thomas back in the 2nd. Thanks again to everybody for checking in and subscribing to YouTube tonight. And also checking in with us and streaming at ChicagoBandits.com. Again, fans from all over the country checking in with us. As Tammy Williams squibs it over to Montalvo. Another laser beam throw, and a good job by Hamilton to pick it off the turf for out number 3. So Sarah Pauly comes in and does her job in relief of Rachel Fico, retiring the Bandits 3 up and 3 down in the home half of the 6th inning of play. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left on base for the Black and Orange. We'll head to the 7th inning of play. It'll be Myers along with Robinson and Uten to face the slants of Tatum Edwards here in the top half of the 7th inning of play. 4-2 Racers over the Bandits on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
Local security group will only take security service and investigations for local security group. Guaranteed security fees of money. Contact local security group at 800-407-2478 for any private security or investigation services needed.
Welcome back here to YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com as we head to the Racers half of the 7th inning of play. Marissa Myers will lead it off, the former Raging Cajun from University of Louisiana, Lafayette. She'll be followed by Shelly Robinson and Haley Uten. Myers has had a terrific evening so far, 2 for 3 with a solo home run in the first and then a 2-run double in the fourth. Marissa with those 3 RBIs now on the season, continuing to climb up the charts in the NPF. Taylor Schlope's 22 had put her in 3rd place in the league.
Ever since winning that open trial with the Bandits, Mike, Marissa Myers has gone on to have a pretty successful career so far.
Yeah, now she's tied with Schlope with those 22, along with Brittany Cervantes, so she's right up there again in RBIs for the 2nd consecutive season in the NPF. Certainly a good confidence boost here for Tatum Edwards, coming in out of the pen and doing a good job in relief of Sarah Moulton.
I think this game overall is going to really boost Tatum's confidence down the stretch because she had been struggling all year up to this point.
Yeah, the ERA was well up in the 5s, but it'll certainly come down if she can get this Racer team out here in the 7th and give the Bandits a chance, as that let-up pitch is tomahawked into the Racer bullpen. There you get a good look at the party deck, which has been a favorite for many groups out here this year. The Western Illinois alumni are out there today in support of Sammy Marshall and the Bandits, trying to root for a Bandit comeback here as they trail by 2. Charge continue to lead the Pride 3-0 in the bottom half of the 5th inning of play down in Sugar Land, Texas. Had a crowd of over 2,100 at the game last night. That let-up pitch is knocked down by Tatum. The former Cornhusker gets it over to Megan for out number 1.
Great recovery by Tatum Edwards. That ball was spinned right toward her, and she's able to knock that one down and recover in time, and was able to take advantage of the fact that Myers doesn't really possess a lot of speed and is able to get the first out.
A nice crowd down in Sugar Land rooting on the hometown girl, Kat Osterman, who was able to pick up her 13th win of the season against only 2 defeats. Ground ball down to T. Will, 2 up and 2 down.
1 pitch outs, Mike. I love it. If you can just throw a ball and get it out like that, that will really save your arm for the next hitter. And Tatum Edwards did just that with the 1 pitch, 1 out.
So Kat's going to win the strikeout crown again this year. She's got 160. Monica right behind her at 131. And they are by far the 2 top strikeout queens of the league. Morgan Mello came in with 37 this year. Actually, Ricketts with 79 in the 3rd spot.
I have a feeling next year that Kalani is going to be the ace of that staff, replacing Kat Osterman.
Now Uten's in the hole. In the game tonight, she has 3 more, so that puts her in 3rd place solidly in the NPF in that category. But right now the Bandits trying to get back into the dugout here, as they will have Allard, Zimkowitz, and Moss to face the right-handed hurler on the mound in the circle, Sarah Pauley.
It's going to be a difficult task ahead.
And Uten takes that 1-2 inside. So Deuces Wild to double Nichols here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. The former Cougar, 2nd-year player out of the University of Houston, trying to keep the inning alive here for Akron.
Saw that Amber Patton, Tammy Williams, and Megan Blank were really questioning whether Wooten had foul tipped that into the glove.
Ground ball to Patton. Again, a nice strike across the diamond, and that will retire the side. So hats off to Tatum Edwards here after giving up that infield single to Yumi Colino, and then the hit to Haley Uten. She comes in and retires 8 consecutive Akron racers out of the bullpen. So a nice job by Tatum coming out of the bullpen. 3 up and 3 down. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on base. We head to the bottom half of the 7th inning of play. The Bandits need 2 to tie and 3 to win as they trail at 4-2 here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
And finally, too, not forget about the ALS jersey auction. You can own these very special jerseys that your Chicago Bandits are wearing tonight. Head down to the All-American Concourse and make your bids right now. Leading off the inning for your Bandits, number 24, Emily Allard.
So Emily Allard to lead it off here for the Bandits. 1 for 2 with an RBI for the former Wildcat, her 12th of the season. She's got the average well over the 300 mark now after coming back from the injury. And she gets the Bandits off to a great start here in the home half of the 7th as the tying run will now come to the plate in the form of Danielle Zimkowitz.
Great hit by Allard to really set the tempo this inning. That's pretty much been Emily Allard's job all year, is to set the tempo, and let's see if the Bandits can catch on to that tempo here.
So Danielle now trying to get her first hit of the series. She's hitless in her first 5 trips to the plate. Bandits now picked up 7 hits, Akron with 9, and the Racers with that 2-run lead. Danielle grounded out to Kelly Montalvo back in the 3rd and flew out to Schlope in the 4th.
It'll be interesting to see if Coach Sturwald will send Emily Allard, which it looks like he's going to here.
Fortunately for the former Fighting Illini, she checked her swing and had it tick off the bat. The Pride finally able to pick up their second hit of the game against Morgan Mello, but they still trail it 3-0 in the 5th. Here it's 4-2 Racers over the Bandits. Tying run at the plate with Zimkowitz. Nobody out here in the 7th. Uten's got a great arm behind the plate. Don't want to run yourself out of an inning if you can help it. But runs are certainly very scarce and far and few between against Sarah Pauley. Brenna Moss on deck for Chicago, and the Bandits hoping to turn it back to the top of the order to the slugger, Brittany Cervantes.
That's the advantage, Mike, that you have when you decide to put a power hitter like Brittany Cervantes in the leadoff hole, is you get her back once you get through the bottom of the lineup, and in these moments, Brittany Cervantes has definitely shined.
Well, right now, Z is just doing anything she can to get on base, but she's in the hole now, a ball and 2 strikes to the vet. Alec Giannakopoulos will have our Boomba player of the game after the contest. We'll name our Diamond Sports play of the game, and we'll take a look ahead during our Combat Sports postgame report. So good speed aboard for the Bandits, tying run at the plate. They trail it 4-2.
Zimkowitz is doing a great job at making Sarah Polly work.
Fans trying to get the Bandits rally cry going on over here.
I have a feeling Coach Stu is going to send Allard.
And a beautiful let-up pitch there by Sarah, and she's able to get the punch out of Zimkowitz.
That was a great strikeout by Sarah Polly. She was able to find the zone, keep Danielle Zimkowitz off balance there, and she gets her looking.
So 1 out now to double Nichols Brenna Moss. She's 0 for 2 so far in the evening. Also thrown out by Montalvo at first. She slaps it towards Kelly. Going to be a tough play and a great job by the former Bulldog to beat it out. So ducks on the pond, and the winning run now comes to the plate in the form of Double Deuce.
That was a great hit by Brenna Moss to really use her speed and to really have a perfect slap of the ball. Kelly Montalvo did a great play of being in the area and also to defend the play, but Brenna Moss is just way too fast for Kelly Montalvo.
So now Uden will discuss things with Sarah Pauly. Only 1 out here for the Bandits, and great speed on the base paths. Anything in a gap is going to tie this game up.
You're going to see here on the play, it was a perfect slap hit by Brenna Moss. Montalvo did a great job of being there and to get the play, but Brenna Moss is just way too fast for that arm of Kelly Montalvo.
Cervantes so far is 1 for 2 in the game with a walk to lead it off, a single in the third, and then a strikeout her last time up. And that one's right at the letters, in on the hands of Double Deuce for strike 1. Cervantes tied with the league lead with Schlope with 8 home runs. And the 22 RBIs have her right there as well. And now she'll have to battle her way out of this 0-2 hole against the veteran Sarah Pauly.
This is the situation where Brittany Cervantes has to swing at anything close. Anything in the zone she has to swing at. Even on the corner, she really has to keep swinging here at anything close.
Amber Patton is on deck. Allard at second base, Brenna Moss at first. That one almost went to the screen. That would have put the tying run in scoring position, so a key play there for Uden. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to the former Wildcat. And she takes it on the outside corner for the second out as Cervantes is retired via the strikeout for the second consecutive time. That was a laser beam that painted the corner.
That was a great pitch by Sarah Polly. She found the corner there, but Brittany Cervantes really had to take a swing there because it was close.
So now it's up to Amber Patton. And she slashes this one down the left side. Let's see if there's room, and there's not. As a nice effort there by Shelly Robinson, diving towards the fence, down the line.
This is a big pitch and also a big at-bat for Amber Patton, and also a big moment for Sarah Polly. Sarah Polly's been here before, but Amber Patton has to know that this is a huge at-bat for her and her team with both the tying runs on base.
1 for 3 in the game so far for number 12. She singled in the 5th. Tying runs are aboard for the Bandits. Pauly gets her sign. And the 0-1 is taken right there, and now it's an uphill battle for the former Blue Demon.
Bandits are down to their last strike here. Amber Patton must swing at anything close. She can't take it anymore. She really needs to swing here.
Here's the 0-2, and a swing and a miss, and that's a racer winner as Sarah Pauly strikes out the side, and she will pick up the save for the Akron Racers. So the Bandits threaten in their half of the 7th inning at a play, but they fail to score. They do pick up a couple base hits. There were no racer errors and 2 runners left on base. So the Akron Racers are able to even up this series as they go head-to-head with the team that they're going to face in the postseason, the Chicago Bandits. So the final totals in our Combat Sports postgame report. Combat Sports is a sponsor of our postgame reports throughout the 2015 season. Your advantage is in our DNA. Experience Maxim, a 40% larger hitting surface than the closest competition. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for a very happy group of Akron Racers. Brian Levin giving everybody high fives right now for the Akron Racers. The Racers improve on the season now to 20-21 on the year. The visitors tonight, they left a lot of racers on base. They left 6 runners on the base paths, but they were able to pick up the victory, and the victory goes to Rachel Fico. As she gets the victory, she improves on the year to 3-2 on the season. And Sarah Pauley in relief, 2 innings of relief. She comes up with the save as she comes in from the bullpen, and she picks up save number 3 on the season. For the Chicago Bandits, 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. The Bandits also stranded a lot of runners tonight, as they end up stranding 6 as well, 1 in each inning in the 2nd through the 5th, and then 2 big runners left on in inning number 7. The loss today will go to Sarah Moulton, as she started the ball game and picks up the loss, and she falls now to 3-2 on the season. So the Bandits fall now to 28-16, a full 3 games behind the Pride, and the Pride are losing their ball game, but the Pride now have officially clinched the NPF and the top spot, so they will take on the Dallas Charge. And Eric, we've seen a preview of what should be a very entertaining 3-game set here between the Bandits and the Racers.
We have the Akron Racers came out firing. They were putting runners on base. They were taking advantage of the fact that Sarah Moulton just didn't have it today, and they were able to bring in runs. Yes, they left a lot of runners on base, but they definitely drove in the runs when it mattered. But the Bandits today, for the most part, played better defense, and also what's going to be overshadowed by this Akron Racers win is the huge confidence booster for Tatum Edwards. She gave up 1 run early, but it settled down and kept the Bandits in the game. She hadn't been able to do that in a while. She's also this season has pitched particularly well against Akron.
Let's move now in our Combat Sports postgame report to take a look at our Diamond Sports play of the ball game. Diamond Sports is the official softball of the NPF. Progressive design plus advanced technology equals unparalleled performance at Diamond Sports. And I think, Eric, we can be certainly in agreement on our Diamond Sports play of the ball game. The former Hawkeye from the University of Iowa flashing the letter for the Bandits.
Megan Blank just did a great job tonight on defense. She was busy over at first base, really going at all angles to make those catches, not just including the throws. She did a great job of catching that bunt pop-up and having the awareness to fire it back over to Z to get the double play. Megan Blanks really made a nice adjustment over to first base. She was originally slated to be an outfielder, but then when Brittany Cervantes had to take off due to personal reasons, she really did a great job of stepping in and filling the void. Also, her bats really has developed this year. In college, she originally was a shortstop, and she told me that it's always an adjustment switching to a corner.
So our Diamond Sports play of the game is the diving catch by Megan Blank at first base, and then doubling off the runner on the throw to Danielle Zimkowitz. Diamond Sports is the official softball of the NPF. Progressive design plus advanced technology equals unparalleled performance. And now it's time for Alec Giannakopoulos to interview our Boomba player of the ball game, and it's the former Bandit, Narissa Myers.
Thanks, guys. Here with our player of the game, Narissa Myers. Narissa, a great game tonight, including an opening home run and 3 RBI. What was working for you tonight on the plate?
I think most importantly, I was just trusting my preparation. Lately, minus the game yesterday, I've been squaring some balls up, getting really deep flies and stuff like that. So just stay with the same approach that I've been having.
And with that, you're going to see this team again in Hoover. We have some gymnastics going on behind me. So what do you take from these last few games against the Bandits that you can take on a couple of weeks in the NPF playoffs?
You know, I think we're still in a really good spot. We're still waiting to break out, and I think that's good because, you know, it's the end of the season. We're just trying to put it all on the line.
And you handled the Bandits last year in the first round of the NPF playoffs. What do you need to do this year to ensue the same amount of success?
I think we just need to stay together as a group and trust our preparation. We have it. They have a lot of speed. They're fighters, and it's going to be a dogfight till the end, but we just need to trust our preparation.
Okay, well, congratulations on your play tonight, and best of luck down the road.
Thank you.
All right, back to you guys.
Great job, Alec. And again, our Boomba player of the game, Narissa Myers, the official supplier for National Pro Fast Pitch, authentic team uniforms, training apparel, and replica sportswear. And now we're going to have our Diamond Sports play of the ball game. And this was a dandy, Eric.
You're going to see Megan Blank get a nice jump on the ball, get it right in the webbing of her glove, and also having the awareness to throw it back over to Z to get the double play. Megan Blank's probably going to have a really nice career here in Chicago if the Bandits decide to bring her back. I know I would.
So Diamond Sports play of the ball game. Of course, again, the diving catch there by Megan Blank. And congratulations to Narissa Myers getting our Boomba player of the ball game, as she ended up going 2 for 4 with a solo home run in the first, and then that big 2-run RBI double, which culminated to 3-run fourth inning for the Racers, and that was the difference tonight.
It certainly was. Sarah Moulton just didn't have the stuff tonight. One of the things that she couldn't do, and she did, was have a lot of base runners on base, and that's where ultimately where Sarah Moulton's weakness is if she allows a lot of base runners on base, that leads to big trouble, and it certainly did here tonight. But also, give Tatum Edwards credit. She kept the Bandits in the game. It's going to be overshadowed by the Racers' victory in the performance of Narissa Myers, but Tatum Edwards did a great job at keeping the Bandits in the game. After being roughed up a little bit early by giving up 1 run, she was able to really settle down and ultimately pitch a great game in a relief appearance. That's definitely going to help her confidence when they head over to Hoover, and also possibly even in the future.
So these teams now will battle in the rubber game coming up tomorrow night. It will be the regular season finale here at the ballpark at Rosemont. We will have pregame coverage beginning at 6:50 with the first pitch at 7:05 right here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Again, thanks to everybody for checking in on YouTube and subscribing to Chicago Bandits NPF softball action. And thanks for emailing us at streaming at ChicagoBandits.com. Special thanks go out to Ronnie Capuzzo, our director and producer tonight. Caroline Moeller doing a great job on graphics for us. Thanks again to our camera folks, Rebecca Pasteris down at third and Sarah Mogatich over at first. Brendan Culleton running the camera again behind home plate, along with Max Arnold. So for Eric Katz, along with Alec Giannakopoulos, this is Mike Knezevich saying so long, as the Chicago Bandits fall this time to the Akron Racers behind 3 RBIs off the bat of Narissa Myers by a score of 4-2. God bless America. God bless you all. Have a safe and wonderful evening, everybody. So long from the ballpark at Rosemont.